to your market update for June 20th, 22. So this week in Prince Edward County, we had 43 new listings come on, which is quite a bit. Think back to January when we only had 27 listings in total for a week. In addition to those 43 listings, we had 6 go conditional, we had 9 go pending, and we had 22 that sold and closed. So right now we've also had 6 price decreases, and we've had 13 that were either suspended, expired, or canceled, which is actually a fair bit lower than just a couple weeks ago. In total right now, we have 183 listings that are residential listings, but from those, we have 9 that are seasonal, we have 30 that are brand new builds, not yet built, and we have an additional 8 that already have an accepted conditional offer. So when we subtract those, we end up with a grand total of 136, which is the highest we've been in a while. All that being said, we right now have about 2 months worth of supply, which again, compared to January, where we had just a couple of weeks worth of a supply, is huge and sounds, like there's so much stuff on the market. But I want you to remember that really and truly where we want to be is we want to have 5 months supply in order to feel like we are a balanced market. That's where we have kind of, equal number of houses for sale as we have buyers, and that's where we find that balance. So right now, even though it seems like it's really slow and not much is happening compared to where we were, in March and the last 2 years from there, really and truly, things are continuing to progress quite well. We want to remind everybody of a couple things. Number one, there are going to continue to be increases in the Bank of Canada interest rates. The next one's going to happen in July, and they are considering doing one every time they meet from here to the end of the year. So if you are considering buying, keep that in mind, because every time the rate goes up by 1%, you lose 10% of your buying power. So just think about that. I know a lot of people right now seem to be just kind of like holding back, holding their breath, waiting to see what happens. But I don't want you to be in a position where you wait and now the interest rates are so high that you can't afford the thing that you could have easily afforded, a couple months prior. If you are looking, make sure you've got your rate locked in for that 120 days or whatever your lending facility allows, just to make sure that you're protected. Again, keep in mind that that means that you have to close within those 120 days, not just put in an offer. So that's something to consider as well. You may even want to hold off until rates rise the next time, but again, talk to your mortgage provider and just work out what the best solution is for you regarding that. If you're selling your house, we are back to where we were kind of a couple of years ago, where it's taking longer. Houses are going to be sitting on the market for a couple weeks, a couple months, 6 months. That's not unusual in Prince Edward County. My house took over 2 years to sell back in 2015 when the market was really slow, just before I went nuts, of course, because my timing is terrible. Anyway, I want you to keep in mind that in order for there to be a really big decrease in prices, it means that we have to have a big supply and we have to have low demand. And that is not the case right now. As I said, we've only got 2 months of supply, and there are actually a lot of buyers still out there looking. They're just being a little more hesitant. So if you're selling, don't get anxious. They are out there, they will come back. They're just, taking their time. So you just really need to be patient when you're selling a house right now. And keep in mind too, as buyers and sellers, you need to know this, people are back to putting in conditions because there's not that giant competing, with 20 offers happening. Therefore, people are putting in the conditions, and this is a good thing. You want to make sure that you're able to put in the conditions that you need, whether that be a home inspection, well or septic inspection, a financing condition. Those are all things to protect you as a buyer, and honestly, as a seller, it's going to protect you as well. That's all from me. Have an amazing week.